Hey everyone, Kathy here from Dirty Booty Soaps. Just trying to get my camera set up here. I think maybe I'll raise you up just a tiny bit. Today we are going to be doing something for autumn. It's going to be our pumpkin spice bars. So I've got my oils mixed together. We are going to pour off a little bit over here in this little container, which I am going to be coloring just with the titanium dioxide. I'm going to use a little bit of that to go into a swirl, and the remainder I'm using to pipe a dollop on each bar. I also have, besides the titanium white, I have a little of this light gold and the copper sparkle mica, which I'm using to color the soap. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour off one pie shape as my sample. And then the rest will be going into this, this 18 bar mold. I'm going to use the dividers. I know it's going to be a pain to get them out, but that's what I'm going to do. So I want them to be a nice chunky bar, just like a piece of cake, like a pumpkin spice cake with a little dollop of whipped cream on the top. So that's what we're going for. I've got my gloves on, got my goggles. This recipe calls for pumpkin puree in the mix as well. So after we pour off our white, or what will be our white, then we put in the puree, and then I pour a little bit of that off here for my light gold color, and then the fragrance goes into the main batch after. So we're gonna get started. I haven't done this naturally. I haven't done the pumpkin for a year, and I can't remember. I should have took notes. I can't remember whether the fragrance seized on me at all. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I've got my big pot there off to the side, so you really can't see. But I'm just mixing my main batch to light trace first. So if you want, you can fast forward through this part. I'm gonna burp our blender. Blend I just want to bring this to a light trace. Making sure it's emulsified. Oops. Okay. Set that off there. I'm going to pour my white off, or what will be my white. I'm going to just kind of shuffle these around here. Like I said, just enough to use in a little bit of the swirl and to pipe with. I think that'll be enough. I really, really love this fragrance. It's pumpkin spice, and it's brambleberry. Okay, so we've got that poured off. That will be our white. Now we're going to put in our pumpkin puree, and just about a half a can. Set this back over here, and we're going to blend that in a bit. It's already giving it a slight orange hue. And then I'm going to pour part of that off for our lighter color here. There. Okay. So this light gold goes in this one. I'm going to save just a little bit of this for the top. The copper mica goes in there. Again, I'm going to save just a tiny bit to sprinkle around the top. And our white, most of it goes in here, and then a little bit in with the light gold. So I'm going to set those two off. Hopefully I'll remember that that's what I want to drizzle with. Sometimes I get sidetracked. Okay, this I'm going to take my whisker and pour my fragrance in the main batch. And we're just going to whisk by hand because we don't want to accelerate any further. We're just going to mix it up really, really good. Oh, it's a nice pumpkin-y color. Just going to set this off here. I have another one which, grab another paper towel here. Trying to work somewhat quickly because I'm just going to mix our white up here before I go into the gold. So this is our unscented here, and then the light gold. Mixing it up really well, trying to get it a little bit fluid again. And move these off to the side. The white and this. So I'm going to double check just to make sure you're still in the frame. And you look pretty good there. So, first thing we're going to do is pour our dark, actually I'm going to pour some here. I'm going to do my pie slice first. Hopefully I can do this without making too much of a mess. I said just wanted to little band it. Stop scratching. My dog's scratching on something over there. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to do a little bit of this light on top of our little sample. Okay. And just a tad drizzle of white on top. And then we're going to pipe on top of that one a little bit too. So anyway, we're going to set this off to the side for now. Now we're going to pour our main. Bear with me. I'm going to get my other spatula because I'm going to have to clean this puppy out when I'm done pouring. And that's always a chore because it's a big pot. Anyway. It smells divine. Okay. scrape as much soap out as possible. I say this every time I use this. I don't know if you watch my videos. Every time I use this pot and have to clean it out, I feel like I'm crawling inside. Anyway. Just have to get as much as possible out. Okay. And put this over here. Trying to tidy as I go. Anyway, now we're going to take our light gold and we're just pouring it in. Kind of up high just so it gets down into the soap. Again, getting out as much as we can. Okay. And the white. All right, leaving hopefully enough to thicken and pipe a dollop on each one. So I'm just going to drag this around. Kind of tamp it down. And then we'll do our little mica on the top. Do this on the ground here. Alright, I don't think there was much in there anyway. Alright, so we're just going to drizzle a little bit of our mica and oil that we had left back and forth across the top. I just love the variations of color that you get when you mix your soap and then your oil, your micas. I love this copper. So pretty. All right, this is pretty good. And we've got our little skewer, which we're just gonna go up and down a bit, just to get a nice, pretty swirl on the top. Going around the edges in tinier circles because I want to get the color on every bar. Beautiful, just beautiful. Love it. Okay. So now we're going to set our divider in. Gently, hopefully. And down we go. take this, again, this skewer that I used, and we're going to use it to help push this down. So, in all reality, when you put this divider in, it is supposed to bring the mica swirl down the sides as well, so it should turn into a really pretty bar. Okay. So far, it looks gorgeous. I'm going to give it a little spritz. Alcohol's running low. And then we're going to give this just a little bit of time to thicken up here. We'll come back and pipe in a few minutes. We'll get our final dollops, just a little on the center on each one. And it should look boondaba, darling, boondaba. But so far, I mean, just look at that. I mean, that's gorgeous. Let me give you a close-up. Look at that. Look at how shimmery and golden it is. So we'll come back in a second and do our little dollops on the top, okay? I'm going to put you on pause for just a second. Okay, we're back, and I enlarged the view for you to get a close-up of how gorgeous this soap is. Like I said, I'm going to pipe just a dollop on the center of each one. Nothing overly fancy. I just want it to look like a nice piece of, like I said, pumpkin spice cake. I think I saved actually too much white, so we'll see what I do with that here. This way, oops, I still have the design showing in the soap. So, looks really gorgeous. I'm putting a bunch on top of my little sample slice just to and then what I'm going to do is sprinkle a little bit of nutmeg on my sample slice. Just, you know what? I think I'll do a dollop. Just a, if I can get it there, just one little poof on top of each one of these. There. So that, voila, is our pumpkin spice soap for fall. And let me get the camera down here so you can see the beautiful copper colors. Oops, get in focus there. There we go. Beautiful copper colors in the soap. Hopefully, once they cure, they still show as beautifully as they do now. Isn't that gorgeous? And then we've got our little, just our little fun slice over here. We'll unmold that. And when I bring you back, I'll already have these unmolded. I'm not going to make you suffer through my suffering. It's not easy to unmold from this mold, I find, but the bars are really worth it. Once you get them out, they're gorgeous. So when we come back, I'll already have them out. And I'm probably going to let this set for a good day and a half, if not 2 days, before I try and get it out. So that it's nice and hard. So anyway, we will be back to unmold these. Or I should say, we'll be back and I'll have these unmolded. So we'll be back. Morning, guys, and we're back. I have unmolded the pumpkin spice soap. I want to make sure, let me make sure you're in the frame here before I, okay. So I left this up, kind of, a couple pieces of this up because I was excited. As some of you may have seen on other videos, I have a problem with this mold because I have limited hand strength. To one of the joys of being old, and I'm not that old, but I've worked with my hands most of my life. My last job was as a teller in a bank for, oh my gosh, what was it, 11 years or so? And it really does a number on your hands. You got to give these tellers credit because some of them count a lot of cash, and yeah, it hurts your body. So anyway, I found a way that works for me to get these out much easier. So I kind of put my pieces back up just to show you what I did. I have a little cheese cutter that I sometimes use to slice my soaps with, and I had extra wire. So what I did was I took the wire and I broke a skewer in half, a wooden skewer, and put it through the loops at the end. And I went around all the outside edges of this mold. Once I got it popped out of the silicone liner, I had all the soap in the bars here. And what I did was I cleaned off the edges with a knife. I just went along and I scraped all the edges, bottom and sides, so that all of these parts that were showing were cleaned off. And then I went down, I stood it on end, and what I did was I went down the very edge with the wire on each bar of the outside ones, and I removed the soaps. Once I got those off, it was much easier to pull the bars out and get the middle section of soaps out. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's a good mold. I love the size. It's just really, for me, it's really hard to get them out. So I found a better way. I invented a better mousetrap. So here we go. We got our little sample one. Of course, that came out easy on its own. Let me move you closer. So I've got our little sample one here, and he's very cute. I'm just trying to position the camera somewhere. Okay, so here I've got our pie. And like I said, I'll have this sitting out at my shows in front of all the packages, just so people can pick it up and smell it, and they know what they're getting. But these turned out just gorgeous, these bars. You can see the different swirls. You've got the creamy gold, light gold, the pumpkin color with the copper mica, and then the little bits of white. Just turned out gorgeous. And I just love the tops. They're still shimmery. Hopefully they stay that way. I believe they will. And very little comes off on their hands. So it might need to sit a while longer, of course. It's going to sit for at least 4 weeks. And I'll trim them up a little bit, because you see some around the edges. You've got this little bit of soap. I'll just go around and clean them up with a knife. Just a little. And they're just gorgeous. I'm so happy. They turned out beautiful. And they smell delicious. Oh my goodness. They smell so edible. But really, it's a great bar of soap. Lathers wonderfully. I made these last year, not this exact style on the top, but the same recipe. And they work wonderful. I would go in at the end of the night when I'm getting ready for bed and brush my teeth, and then I'd wash my hands with this pumpkin soap. And then I'd lay in bed and I'd just smell my hands, and just smelled so delicious. I'm such a dork. Anyway, they turned out beautiful. We'll give you a little flyby with my wonderful telephone camera. But they're just, like I said, need a little bit of cleaning up on the edges, but they turned out wonderful. Here's the rest. The side's beautiful. That marbling, they do look like they're just delicious little pumpkin cakes or pumpkin cheesecakes. But gorgeous, just gorgeous. So I hope you liked the video and little tips on getting them out of that mold. Like I said, for me, I find it hard because I don't have the hand strength. So I got a better way to do it now. I'm so excited. But anyway, we'll have these on the website in a month. And if anybody's interested, you can always message me through Facebook on our webpage, Dirty Booty Soaps, on Facebook. And avoid ordering on the website. You know, you can just pay me through PayPal that way. But these are huge. Let me weigh one. My little scale out here. Ounces. Just over 8 ounces. So that's like 2 bars of soap. Right there. Of course, that one's 7.5. Still very substantial. That one's almost 8. Must be inside bars versus outside bars or something. So that one's almost 8. So I say right around 8 ounces. But anyway, so they'll be, I'll set a price for them. But I'd say come the end of July, they'll be available if you want. Like I said, message me through Facebook, and you can order yours. And you'll be all ready for maybe Thanksgiving, gift giving. This would be awesome. Go to your wherever you're getting together, your families, whatever. Give them a bar of pumpkin soap as a little hostess gift. Beautiful. But thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now.